Hi, my name's James. If you haven't guessed already, I work for ARAI Helmets, and I've just been asked to give some advice about helmets in general. And of course, I'm a little bit biased towards the brand because I sell the product. Of course, the main reason for using a helmet is safety, to protect what is priceless. If you were to send your phone off in the post, you would make sure it was well packaged and well wrapped to make sure it wouldn't arrive damaged. And that's the idea behind the helmet. That piece between our ears is our brain. Not only is it irreplaceable, but it's priceless. So ARAI helmets are made with safety first. It starts with the shell. There are three main components of the helmet. Starts with the shell, the EPS liner, and the padding, and I'll come to those in a little bit. The first thing we'll start with is the shell. ARAI make an incredibly strong shell, and also the shape is significant. So in the event of a crash, what you want to do is for the energy to be absorbed in the helmet, not in your head. So obviously the shell takes the impact first of all. The EPS liner absorbs the energy as well. As well as that, the shape is important. ARAI called the R75 shape, and it's a round, smooth, strong shape. What you want to do is glance off in the event of a crash. So basically, you want the helmet to slide and lose energy that way, rather than impact it into the head. So that's the shell of the helmet, the outside shell, that round, smooth shell. Inside the shell, then we have the EPS liner. Essentially polystyrene, but with ARAI there are several densities of polystyrene within the one piece, and it's all fused together in one section. Some companies will sandwich them and glue them together by the different densities, but with ARAI it's patented so that it's all one piece. And this also acts to absorb the energy in the event of a crash. Then we have the interior. That's obviously the top piece from an ARAI helmet. And then of course there are two cheek pads as well. These are all, in most helmets, removable, at least the cheek pads, and most likely the top pad as well. The idea behind that is two reasons. Firstly, it can be custom fitted, so that these pieces can be changed if you need a little bit thicker cheek pad or a thinner cheek pad, and likewise the top pad. The other thing, of course, is then they can be taken out, cleaned and washed. Racing a motorcycle is a pretty physical thing, so quite often it raises a bit of sweat, and it's important that these things are kept clean, not only for hygiene but also to keep the helmet in good condition for racing. Of course, every helmet comes with a visor. Generally a clear visor will be on as standard as it comes out of the box, and then you can change that to either tinted, mid-tint, or something darker, and a dark visor as well. Within the visor there's some differences there as well. You'll find between the visors there's a road visor. Generally it will take a pin lock, so it's an insert like this here that goes inside, and the tension of the silicone bead against the inside of the visor, it absorbs the moisture and avoids the visor steaming up in cold conditions. Again, it's important. This has got a certain ability to absorb moisture. So in a very wet day, you might need a couple of pin locks just to make sure, if you've been using a bike in regular sessions and so on, it's not a bad idea to have a spare pin lock as it absorbs the moisture. Then, as well as that, you'll find there are some flat race visors. So this is a flat race visor. It has posts on the outside, and that will enable the visor to take tear-offs. Again, for racing purposes, tear off, and you have a clear vision for the next lap. And maybe not so important in short circuit racing, but certainly in longer races it's important. It's a good idea to keep your visor dry, keep it clean, and maximize your chance of seeing where you're going and making the extra difference. Of course, the best helmet in the world, if it's not fitted properly, won't do its job. So it's important that the helmet fits correctly, neither sitting too high or too low. Too low, of course, and in the tuck position, you won't be able to see properly where you can go. I mentioned already that the ARAI helmets can be custom fitted, so extra padding can be added, and different cheek pads and so on to get that perfect fit for safety and for comfort. All fasteners from ARAI have a double D type fastener, and there you'll also find the date of the manufacture of the helmet, and you can use the chart to find out the date of manufacture. And also all ARAI helmets cover a 5-year warranty. Do be careful to avoid fake helmets. They're out there, usually online, and to be avoided at all cost. There's a lot of talk these days about head injuries in sport, in different sports, and motorcycle racing is of course a more dangerous activity where crashes are inevitable. So it's important that you have a safe helmet. Not all helmets that are on sale are suitable for racing. Some are just for moped and scooter use. Others are for street use. So do make sure the helmet you have and you use gives you the maximum protection for that thing that is essentially priceless and can't be replaced. Look after your helmet, it'll look after you. And remember that at ARAI we have an obsession for protection.